Canadians have been hearing more and more about Western separation, and a vote is right around the bend this October. Some dismiss it, some mock it. Others are genuinely concerned about the future of our nation. What does it all mean for seniors, for our kids? Before we pray about national unity, we want to take a moment not to argue for or against separation, but to help bring deeper understanding as to why so many people in the West, specifically Alberta and Saskatchewan, are deeply hurting. Canada is a family, and when one part of a family is in pain, the answer isn't to tell them that they're wrong for feeling that way. The answer is to listen. If you grew up in Ontario, Quebec, or one of the Atlantic provinces, much of what I'm about to share may not have been part of your personal lived experience. But for many Western Canadians, these events that I'm about to share about have shaped an entire generation. It really began with what is called the energy wars between Alberta and Ottawa in the 1970s, culminating in 1980 with something called the National Energy Program.
The price of oil in Canada must go up towards the world price.
The province of Ontario cannot agree to an increase in the price of oil or natural gas at this moment.
I would like to propose an energy security fund for Canada, owned, controlled, and directed by Canadians.
To many people outside of Alberta, it was simply another federal policy. But to many Albertans, it felt like Ottawa had reached right into their province, taken control of their largest industry and most precious resource, and redistributed the wealth that their own families had worked so hard to create to the rest of the nation. Because of this program, Albertans were required to sell their oil at a very large discount. The message? We'll take your most precious resource at a discount, and you have no say in the matter. The impact? Devastating. Whether you believe that assessment is entirely fair or not, there's no denying the real human impact. Businesses closed, people lost jobs, families lost farms and homes, marriages were destroyed. Unemployment rose dramatically, as high as 11.3%. With every percentage of increase in unemployment, there was an even higher rate of suicide which followed, as men, women, mothers and fathers, and friends took their lives under the pressure of it all. Communities were devastated, and trust was broken. Many Western Canadians have simply never forgotten this devastation. Then came the constitutional debates of the 1980s and early 1990s. As Canada wrestled with major constitutional questions, many in the West felt that the national conversation revolved almost entirely around Ontario and Quebec. They increasingly wondered whether anyone in Ottawa truly understood them or even cared to. That feeling didn't disappear. It's only continued to grow. Then there's the equalization payments. Now, to be fair, equalization exists for an important purpose. It's intended to help ensure Canadians receive reasonably comparable public services regardless of where they live in the nation. And many Canadians support it for this very reason. But for many Albertans, they see it very differently, and this is because their families carry the greatest weight. Albertans have been Canada's largest net contributors to Confederation for decades. Depending on the methodology you use, Alberta's cumulative net contribution to the rest of Canada is estimated at well over $500 billion in the last 25 years, significantly more than what it has received back. Recent estimates have the net annual fiscal contribution at approximately $15 to $20 billion per year. That's $3,000 to $4,000 per Albertan, $16,000 per Albertan family of four. And this while the province has gone deeper into debt under increased immigration, which has put a great demand on public infrastructure, and This with many families struggling simply to make ends meet. Then, during these difficult economic times, they've often watched other provinces receiving equalization payments oppose pipeline projects that could have helped Alberta recover out of debt, while these same provinces have logged surplus budgets. Whether or not that perception tells the entire story, many Albertans have experienced this as profoundly unjust. Then came the last decade. Pipeline after pipeline was canceled or delayed. Major energy projects struggled to move forward. Federal environmental legislation and carbon pricing became flashpoints. Supporters believed that these measures were necessary to protect the environment and to address climate change. Opponents believed that they disproportionately targeted the industry that fed hundreds of thousands of Western Canadians and blessed the entire nation. Again, reasonable people can disagree about these policies, but what is much harder to dismiss is the emotional devastation that they have had and the impact that they've had on businesses, families, and lives. Finally, there's a deeper issue that underlies all of this, and that's representation. The most recent federal elections have been decided before the Prairie provinces have even completed their voting. In the Senate, Ontario, Quebec, and the Atlantic provinces have 78 seats. The Prairie provinces, only 18. Increasingly, Western Canadians look at these numbers and this dynamic and they feel absolutely helpless. It's as though no matter how they vote, how hard they work, how hard they try, nothing seems to change. And whether that perception is entirely accurate or not, many feel they simply do not have an equal voice within Confederation. And when people begin to believe that they are no longer being heard, that becomes alienation over time. And this is why so many people in the West are not simply frustrated, they feel crushed. Many are wounded, many feel forgotten, many feel taken for granted and used. Many still love Canada very deeply, and they're even in this room today. But increasingly, Western Canadians wonder whether Canada still loves them or cares. The answer is not to belittle these feelings or to pretend that they don't exist. The answer is to listen deeply, to understand, to have honest conversations, to carry one another's hearts with care, and to recognize that good people across the country can see these issues and policies differently. That's okay. Our country has always been strongest when we've chosen to understand over divide. The truth is this: most Western Canadians are not asking for special treatment. They're simply asking to be heard, to be respected, and to be considered. Canada is worth fighting for. And maybe it starts right here with compassion.